Let's begin.
After what the NBA slipped up and did today, it's nowhere in the world they're beating those rigged allegations. How is it that the Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers have a conference semifinals game 7 game tomorrow, but the NBA did this? Look at that screen. Why are they saying that the Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers will be playing in the Eastern Conference Finals? This is the same reason why people were saying that the NBA kind of reminds them of the WWE. The Cavs and the Detroit Pistons is 3-3. They didn't even play game 7 yet. So how is it possible for the Knicks and the Cavs to be playing in the conference finals? And how is it possible that the NBA already knew this? It's nothing that they could do to hide the fact that they already told everybody what's going on. So you telling me it was by mistake that they let the world know that the Cavaliers and the Knicks will be playing game 1 on Sunday? I want you to look at this commercial one more time. This ain't looking good for the NBA at all. It's either sports bettors has been winning too much or the script just got leaked. I guess we know what they expect next.
Wait till they find out all of politics is like WWE.
Come from the Orsini family. Roth means red in German, and the Orsini means red bear, little red bears. That's what Orsini means. The Grey Pope is Pepe Orsini. He trumps the black, he trumps the white Pope.
The Grey Pope is even higher than the black and the white Pope.
The Orsini is the Maxima family. They are the maximum family. They are on top. And somehow they've trumped the Colonna and the Farnese, which I know without any doubt through all my studies that they are the 3 most powerful Illuminati.
What about Rothschild and Rockefeller?
Well, they are Orsini. They just changed their name. Rockefeller were Rothschilds. Rothschilds were Orsini. Orsini were a family which have their lines in Babylon and Egypt. They tell you that. You read their biographies. They'll tell you that. We go back to Nimrod. They tell you that. The Rothschilds say that. We go back to Nimrod. How? Through the Orsini. So Rockefeller, Rothschild, Orsini, and then you go back to the Persian and Egyptian dynasties.
So maybe they are genuinely superior to us and just want to maintain it.
Hey, you guys ever wonder why THC stays in the system so long? Like anything else you do, it gets out of your system after 3 days. But with THC, it stays in your system for 30 days or more. That's because in 2011, scientists discovered what's called the endocannabinoid system. And literally our body and brain accepts the THC and CBD and it rejects everything else, whether it's Tylenol, any kind of drug that you take. It gets out of your system after 3 days, the body pushes it out. So you can overdose on water, but you can't overdose on CBD or THC. Just thought that was kind of weird.
It is definitely interesting that our body has THC receptors within it.
They let me try it out. Now, because it's not medically approved yet, I couldn't actually put it in my eye. So I tried it like this. What I saw was pretty dystopian. Imagine directions floating in front of you while you're driving, a calorie count appearing when you buy your morning coffee, or paying for something just with an eye scan. But what about safety?
The lens itself, it operates at the level of microwatts. The amount of this electromagnetic field, which can potentially somehow influence your brain, your body, is comparable to, I think, to those eye bags that you are wearing here.
You know, it's absolutely fascinating because I truly do feel like I am a spiritual entity of some kind that is experiencing a temporary time within this realm of tangibility, of physicality, of materiality that really, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't connect with it as much. I've never been into owning a lot or desiring to have a lot. But some people, it's all they live for. They just can never get enough.
So a pig is just a rat, cat, and a dog gene spliced together. Specifically, a bobcat, a hyena, and a muskrat creates a pig. So every time you eat a pig, you're eating a hyena, a muskrat, and a bobcat. So the pig like, it explains itself. It's the lowest level of animal on the planet, let alone it's not even supposed to be here. It's not even a natural animal. As we all know, pigs eat through bone, all of that. Mobsters and slave masters used to feed people that they murdered to the pigs. And I'm pretty sure it's still going on today. Bodies coming up missing. So we all know the pig's capabilities. Now, let alone when you eat meat, it actually lowers your consciousness. It lowers your level of vibration spiritually. So now you have different levels of the atmosphere, starting with the troposphere being the very lowest, and then you got the exosphere being basically outer space. The troposphere is like down where we at, and then you climbing up, you get to like the stratosphere, then you climbing up, you get to the exosphere. These are actually different levels on the ethereal plane where your soul can dwell, the universe being the highest, what you would call heaven, or whatever kind of religion you follow would consider the most highest point where your spirit can go upon death. Eating meat lowers your vibration, and it gives your soul a stench. It makes it stink in the ethereal world, and it makes it smell foul on the spiritual plane. So beings and angels will not, what's the word I'm looking for? Be willing to connect with you or communicate with you or be so eager to contact you because you actually stink to them. You actually smell disgusting to them. And by your frequency being lowered upon death, you actually preparing yourself to not ascend to the highest level of existence on an ethereal plane or spiritual plane upon your death, because you have not prepared your soul to do so, because you have lowered your level of vibration by eating meat for however long you've been eating meat, probably your whole life. So that's another reason why eating meat is so bad, because it lowers your spiritual frequency, and it makes your soul literally stink. It gives your soul a literal stench, and you can actually, like, if somebody was musty and you was sitting next to him at the bus stop, you would get up and move, or you wouldn't want to be around him. This applies on the same level of spirituality. You have beings and entities that exist on other planes of existence, spiritual planes, that will actually be disgusted and not want to be around you because your soul literally stinks.
I've never heard this before. It almost makes sense to me, though.
Robert Pike was a leader in Masonry, and he actually wrote a letter to the 23 supreme councils of the world, where he stated this: "That which we must say to the crowd is that we worship a God, but it is the God one adores without superstition. To you, Sovereign Grand Inspector General, we say this. You may repeat this to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degrees. The Masonic religion should be by all of us initiates of the high degrees, maintaining the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai, the God of the Christians, whose deeds prove cruelty, perfidy, and hatred of man, barbarism and repulsion for science, would Adonai and his priests calumniate him? Yes, Lucifer is God, and unfortunately, Adonai is also God. For the eternal law is that there is no light without shade, no beauty without ugliness, no white without black. For the absolute can only exist as two gods, darkness being necessary for light to serve as its foil, as the pedestal is necessary to the statue, and the brake to the locomotive. Thus the doctrine of Satan is heresy, and the true and pure philosophical religion is the belief in Lucifer, the equal Adonai. But Lucifer, God of light and God of good, is struggling for humanity against Adonai, the God of darkness and evil. This is the very letter that many Masons try hard to ignore. This letter openly confesses Albert Pike's plans and what Masonry stands for. First, he revealed that the Masons not only worship Lucifer, but they think that he is the true God and that Jehovah is the God of evil. He clearly states that they deceive the masses by telling them they worship God, but never reveal which God.
You know, I don't really like the idea of placing entities or concepts this vast within a box or a label, some sort of confinement. But I don't want to be involved with anything that involves harming another individual or entity or yourself, or sacrifice, and anything along those lines. I don't want to be involved with at all, and I don't see how people would.
My name is Peyton, and today we're going to be talking about SATs and how to manifest with little to no effort. Let's go. So what is SATs? SATs, or state akin to sleep, was a manifestation technique popularized by Neville Goddard, who was a spiritual teacher in the 1940s, 1950s. And he did these seminars teaching people how to use SATs. And Neville is actually the main reason we know about manifestation today. And yeah, you might be skeptical, and Neville knew that, and that's why he introduced his students to the ladder technique. So what Neville would do is he would tell his students to visualize themselves climbing a ladder as they fell asleep every night for 3 nights. And every day in between, he told them to say to themselves, I will not climb a ladder, over and over and over. And his promise to his students was anyone who didn't climb a ladder in the next 3 days, don't show up to the seminar next week. Don't even come, because it's not worth it, right? And guess what? Everybody was back. Right? Kind of mind-blowing. And I distinctly remember learning about this and I distinctly remember reading this because it's in his book. Went through all his lectures and kind of compiled it into this book. It's really good. You should give it a read. So I remember I did the visualizations every night for 3 nights. Fell asleep visualizing climbing the ladder. Said, I'm not going to climb the ladder. I'm not climbing the ladder. I was like convinced I'm going to beat this. There's no way I'm climbing a ladder, right? When would you climb a ladder? And then I remember I was at my buddy's cottage and I remember jumping off the dock. And obviously, how am I going to get back up? Had to climb a ladder to get back onto the dock. And I was halfway up and I was like, there's no way. He got me, right? He got me. And the reason that he teaches this exercise is because he was trying to show them that the subconscious is more powerful than the conscious mind. Way more powerful. It didn't matter how much they said they weren't going to climb a ladder. When they visualized it, that's what brought them to it, right? And then he said, now you can do that same thing, except to become a millionaire. Like me, right? He was flexing on. So how will we be successful as Sats? Step 1 is we're going to get into a comfortable position as if you were going to sleep, right? Lay down. Don't change anything about your routine. You know yourself. You know how you fall asleep. Step 2 is you're going to visualize your desire on a loop as you're falling asleep. And Neville Goddard says to include all 5 of your senses, but I don't think that's necessary. When I was visualizing the ladder, I didn't really feel anything. I just kind of felt neutral. I didn't even care if it happened or not. So there really isn't that much effort. Just make it a short thing that you can loop over and over. Climbing a ladder. And the reason this works is because our subconscious is always guarded by our ego during the day. So it's not going to let anything in. So when you're imagining this on a loop, that's when you're getting in. And that's why I'm making step 3 sleep in the state, because you're going to fall asleep with this looping in your mind, and it's just going to become more and more powerful and ingrain into your mind the more you do it. You need to act as if. And that just means act like you have it already. If you're manifesting a good body, you're not going to just sit around and eat chips. You're going to go to the gym, right? Be that person now. So you become that person externally. As above, so below. If you wake up and your manifestation hasn't come true, maybe you didn't get that money, just continue like nothing happened. Because when you rely on your external reality and let it dictate your internal reality, that's signifying lack. And that's what's going to magnify, and that's what's going to impress on your subconscious mind. You have to kind of see it as an inevitable thing that's going to happen for you. Otherwise it won't. There has to be intention by it, because where attention and intention goes, energy flows.
I'll have to try this ladder experiment, but I do believe that a lot of that is pretty truthful.
Shit. What the hell is that thing? This is real.
It's shooting away. Holy shit, I can't believe this.
That was definitely not real, but potentially it could be like that.
This man claims to have found ancient technology from before the Great Reset. This is Tartarian technology, which supposedly contains red mercury at its core, used to transmit energy to various devices. Watch how it's used.
Move the lamp. Pick it up. I think it's an illusion or a deception of some kind, but I would love to think that technology like that potentially exists.
63 square miles. That's 3 Manhattans, okay? 3. Do you understand how big that is? It's a data city, guys. Are clearly not being made to store your spicy photos and family albums of meme on. Data centers are very clearly for mass surveillance and harvesting as much data as humanly possible. Word center is a misservice. These are cities. These are way bigger than cities. These are data metropolises. 63 square miles, guys. You can't walk. It's not a center. You cannot walk from one end to the other. You need a car and there will be traffic, my friend. You will need hospitals. You will need housing. You will need all these things, unless it's run by robots. But like, these are monumentally large, which of course will destroy the environment, consume all our water to inevitably fund the surveillance technocratic super state that we're building, then fuel the AI god that they are trying to bring into reality to divulge justice on us all for, doing whatever it is that they don't like.
I, for one, welcome our new AI overlords.
Mon Dieu! Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? Oh! Oh là là! Tiens, je veux... Oh! Mon Dieu! Oh! Oh la 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 la!
He's ever seen.
They are not textile. They are not any known substance.
Dr. Casey was amazed by the mysterious fiber on Brian's hand and decided to have it tested. She tugs on it, but the fiber holds firm. Finally, it comes loose.
We took the whole plug of skin with it.
Dr. Casey and her colleague, Dr. Randy Wymore, take the samples to Tulsa's crime lab.
Morgellons fibers are not any known textile, cotton or rayon or nylon, not any of those.
What's more, the fibers don't burn when exposed to high heat.
Have you ever done a fiber that didn't vaporize completely other than the Morgellons fiber?
No. It's called Morgellons disease. The origin is unknown. What's truly bizarre, the disease produces strange fibers that emerge from the skin.
The X-Files? It's nothing short of that.
The symptoms are painful and even creepy.
The itching was so bad that it was painful.
Holy shit, that sounds awful. That sounds like a nightmare.
Doble, estamos enviando a los supervivientes a las Islas Canarias.
Quiero agradecer la acogida de las Islas Canarias por permitir la llegada de antivirus.
I'm on board. The MV obvious. All we want right now is to feel safe.
Girls get vaccinated, vaccinated girls get boosted, and gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again. It is my second day at the National Quarantine Unit in Omaha, Nebraska.
That's all we have for you today.